You have to really break down your business and ask yourself, why am I not going all in? Why am I not building it so fast right now so that I don't have to do this for 20 years? When I first got my license, there were a couple realtors that I shadowed, and they were doing this for 20 plus years. I realized immediately that I did not want to do that. I wanted to build my business so fast that I could walk away and have enough repeat referral business that I wouldn't have to worry about that. And so you have to then pick apart your business and ask the same questions. Why am I not going faster? Because trust me, if you can buy into the idea of momentum, your business will completely take off. So let's take the next 10 minutes and let's break this down. Let's look at your business and let's figure out how we can go all in, how we can get more buy-in out of you. Because if you can buy in, your business will take off. All right, welcome to June. It is wild that this is the last month of the second quarter. We're now transitioning from the first half of the year to the second half of the year. One lesson that I wish I would have learned at the beginning of my sales career is the importance of momentum. How you end one thing is how you begin the next. So you have to look at this month here in June. How you end June is going to be what determines how you start the second half of the year. And so if you're on a downward trajectory, then this is the video for you. We're going to talk about how you can stop wasting time, get more efficient in your business, have a more burning holy cause that'll help you go faster. Because when you understand the principle of momentum, you're going to buy into it. One of the greatest books that I've ever read on this was Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect. If you haven't read this, go pick this up. Darren Hardy gives multiple examples of what he calls big momentum. And if you can really get behind the idea that it's momentum that you need to chase, that it's not sales skills, it's not strategy, it's not anything business related, but it's the idea of momentum. And that will be the single greatest contributor to your success the second half of the year. We're going to talk about that today. So super excited to dive into this. We're also going to talk about the Pareto principle. If you've read this book, the 80-20 rule, it talks about how there's certain things that give you a more or a bigger ROI. And if you can dial in on what those are, then you'll have more of a return with doing less in your business. And most of the time, when I talk to you guys on the phone, when you DM me on Instagram, or when we chat in one of our programs, the biggest thing that I'm seeing is that you're not identifying what 20% is going to get you that 80% that you all want. So let's break it down today. Excited that you're here. We've got an incredible lineup this month. We're going to talk about how to do an audit at the end of this quarter, how to really dive into your business and figure out what are the things that aren't working that you need to get rid of. If you think of the example of a rocket ship that I've used multiple times, but when a rocket goes in the air, when it gets to a certain point, a certain altitude, it's going to release the parts that it doesn't need so that it can go more efficiently. Also, a lot of times if you're driving a Ferrari, you don't want to have the brake on. You want to be able to go as fast as you can with as little as possible so that you can get more of a return. We're going to talk about that. We've got another episode. We're going to break into 10 of the top biggest lessons that I'm seeing this first half of the year with all the real estate agents I'm working with. Those that aren't implementing it aren't having success. Those that are crushing it. So we're going to break down 10 different topics and how you can apply those and fix it immediately in your business. Then we're going to talk about how to outwork everybody in your market. This year in real estate, there's a lot of realtors that probably won't renew their license, and a lot are getting out. We're seeing this again. What happened a couple of years ago is repeating itself. So it's very easy to outwork everybody. So hang tight for that episode. Again, this month, we've got a lot of incredible episodes coming. I hope that you can take a lot of notes, jump into these, buy into what we're going to talk about. I promise that your business will absolutely explode because of the things that you learn in these next 4 episodes here in June. All right, so let's jump into this. So why are you not going all in? What is holding you back? A couple months ago, if you were following along in our book club, which if you don't have that PDF, comment book club, and I'll get that to you so you could follow along with us this year. But a couple months ago, we read this book called Burn the Boats by Matt Higgins. You probably have recognized him if you're a sports fan or if you watch Shark Tank. And he talked about a lot of times we have plan B overload. We have way too many plan Bs that are attached to the dream that we're trying to chase. And so we don't go all in because we have all of these attachments back here. He talks about how to get rid of those. And so you have to really break down your business and ask yourself, why am I not going all in? Why am I not building it so fast right now so that I don't have to do this for 20 years? When I first got my license, there were a couple realtors that I shadowed, and they were doing this for 20 plus years. I realized immediately that I did not want to do that. I wanted to build my business so fast that I could walk away and have enough repeat and referral business that I wouldn't have to worry about that. And so you have to then pick apart your business and ask the same questions. Why am I not going faster? Because trust me, if you can, like I said earlier, buy into the idea of momentum, your business will completely take off. Think about the merry-go-round example. If you're young enough to remember those at the parks, you have to exert a lot of energy at the beginning. It's a lot of hard work to push it off to get it spinning. But once it's spinning, it's so easy. You have to think of your business the same way. Your business will operate so easily if you can get a lot of inertia, a lot of momentum right out of the gate. Same thing with a rocket. It's going to spend 95% of its fuel to get off the ground, but then it doesn't use any of it once it's up in space. The same thing with your business. If you can go all in, create so much momentum and inertia right out of the gate, then you can walk away. So let's take the next 10 minutes and let's break this down. Let's look at your business and let's figure out how we can go all in, how we can get more buy-in out of you. Because if you can buy in, your business will take off. All right, the first thing that I'm seeing right now is a lot of the realtors that I'm talking to, they're missing their holy cause. They're missing their why, their big belief, the big thing that is pushing them. It's absent or it's not deep enough. If you think of a tree in a storm, usually what happens is it'll dig deep into the roots and it plants itself as it hangs in there throughout the storm. It's the same thing in your business. You have to dig deep and plant yourself, and that'll allow you to maintain more consistency in your business and see more results. And so ask yourself, what is your holy cause? Write down in your notes. Why are you doing this? And why are you doing this on the days that are rough that no one wants to show up? We live in a society that it's literally broken down to, like Ormozy talks about, that it's all about who will show up and who can pay attention. That's how easy the industry has become in real estate is, will you show up and can you pay attention and eliminate distractions? That's how easy it's become. You only will do that if you have a burning cause that's inside of you that allows you to push through consistently every day. So if you don't have a burning cause, if you don't have a holy cause, if you don't have something that's going to allow you to run through a burning building, then let me break down 3 different activities that you can do right now that'll help you better understand this principle. And they all come from Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you read this, he's got the first couple of chapters are beginning with the end in mind. So it's the idea of the law of 2 creations. Everything's created spiritually and then it's created physically. So you have to look at your holy cause, the thing that's going to burn inside your soul, as something spiritually that you break down, and then we can put it on paper and build the plan for you to physically go bring it into existence. In the activity, he talks about there's 3 different things that you can do to break this down. And again, if you don't have this book or you don't have a packet on this, I have a whole ebook that's completely free that'll break this down for you. Just comment business plan and why you want that. Then I'll shoot you a text and I'll get that over to you. All right, so the 3 are real quick. You jot these down in your notes. The first one is the funeral activity. Imagine going to a funeral. You dress in black, you're with your family, you go to the chapel, you wait in line, you see family, friends, coworkers, you get to the casket, you look inside, and it's you. Who would you want to talk? Who would you want to see there? And what would you want them to say? If you really break that down, that'll help you understand what's important to you. And that becomes a holy cause. You realize what people are important to you, why they're important to you, and it allows you to shape your life and live it by design and not by default. The other one is the Odyssey plan. If you were to look at your current situation and you changed nothing, what would happen in the next 5 years? What if you changed 1 or 2 things? What would change in the next 5 years? What if you went all in? You changed everything and you finally focused and got committed. What would change? That's the Odyssey plan. So go through that activity and really think about what would happen if I changed certain things, and just use that as a holy cause and paint that picture and allow that to help you be consistent on the days that are hard. The last one is the ideal scenario. Close your eyes and think about the ideal scenario. Where do you work? Who are you working with? Where do you live? What are you contributing to society? How much money do you make? What's your impact to the community? Go through that whole picture, paint it, and then pull it back, and then we can build it into reality. Go through those activities. Really get clear on dialing in on what your holy cause is. It'll be easier for you to show up. You'll be more consistent if you have a holy cause that's burning behind you. There's a great quote from Alex Ramosi, and he talks about how he says, "My father used to tell me a focused fool can accomplish more than a distracted genius. So your most valued asset isn't your time, it's your attention. A man with time and distractions will always lose to a man with a deadline and a singular focus. Never been easier to be successful than it is today. It's just always been easier to be distracted." So be focused. Go figure out what your burning holy cause is and then lock in. Eliminate distractions and buy in. Go all in here in June. If you do that, remember how you end one month is how you're going to start the next. How you close the chapter of the first part of this year is what will allow you to have big momentum going in to the next half of the year. All right, the next part that I want to talk about is stories. Stories are powerful when you realize, oh, that person didn't just get successful overnight. They had to go through the grind, and they have a pretty brutal upbringing to then get them to where they're at. Sometimes what happens is we get trapped in our own thoughts and we think, oh, woe is me. My situation is unique, that everything is going wrong. It's all out of my control, and you become a victim. So in order to go all in, you have to flip the narrative, how you see your story, how you explain your story. You have to flip it, and you have to become the hero. You have to become the proactive person in the story that controls the controllables. So let me give you 4 stories real quick that'll help you get more buy-in simply because they inspire you. Their stories inspire you, and it allows you to develop that holy cause. The first one is 50 Cent. So 50 Cent's mom was 15 when she had him. She was murdered when he was 8. Found drugged and dead in her apartment. He started selling crack at 12. In the year 2000, he was outside his grandma's house, shot 9 times at close range. Bullet to the head, hand, chest, face, legs. He survived. Barely. Had a wired jaw. Started rapping through it. He made Get Rich or Die Trying with Eminem and Dre. Sold 12 million plus copies, 38 million made in 1 year. Then he flipped the game, invested in vitamin water. When Coca-Cola bought it, he made $100 million in one check. Talk about an incredible story of someone that had everything against him. He figured out what his holy cause was, and he bought in. Again, it's the holy cause, what burns inside you. That's what's going to get you to move forward. All right, the next one is Eminem. So in 2007, Eminem almost died. He had ballooned to over 230 pounds, addicted to Vicodin, Valium, and 20 other pills a day, collapsed on his bathroom floor. Doctor said he was 2 hours from death. It started after Proof died, his best friend, shot inside a club. Eminem spiraled, stopped recording, spent his days playing Call of Duty and eating fast food alone. He went to rehab, relapsed the same week, tried again, failed, started running 9 miles a day. Taught himself how to rap again because pills had fried his memory. In 2009, he came back with Relapse. Dropped Recovery in 2010, went number 1 in 25 countries, won Best Rap Album. At 50, he's sober, still writes every verse by hand, still runs 17-mile loops before shows. You don't stay at the top for 2 decades because you're lucky. You stay because you refuse to die. I love that story. And I love that Eminem just hung in there. And then he built that consistency over time. So how do you buy in? Again, you get the holy cause. You figure out why you want to do this. You take control of your situation and you become proactive. The last one I want to mention is John Krasinski. This is an incredible story. So if you know his story, he was the goofy guy from The Office, probably one of my favorite of the bunch. So he was a comedy actor, soft, not a leading man material, auditioned for Captain America and got rejected. Producer said he didn't look like a superhero. Instead of quitting, he trained like one, hired a Navy SEAL coach, dropped to 9% body fat, did real military drills, woke up at 5 a.m. every day. Then came Jack Ryan. They doubted him again, said it was too serious for a sitcom guy, but he crushed it. Then did his own stunts, directed A Quiet Place for $17 million. It made $340 million worldwide. He wrote, directed, starred with his wife, Emily Blunt. The sequel then made $297 million in a pandemic year. He built his own franchise. Now he runs his own production company, one of Time's 100 most influential people. Not bad for the funny guy from Scranton. Again, incredible story. I hope you're catching that most of these stories are from situations that aren't ideal. So whatever your situation is, whatever is holding you back from buying in this second half of the year, I ask you to rewrite that narrative. Figure out what your holy cause is. So use these stories to leverage the paradigm shifts that you have to have in order to buy in. A lot of those stories can be found in this book, The Secret of Success is Not a Secret. Stories of famous people who persevered. Go leverage their stories and find the ones that you can connect with, and it'll allow you to burn those boats. All those plan Bs, it'll allow you to cut the cords so that you can buy all in. As you do that, this second half of the year will help you blow up your business because you're focused, you've eliminated distractions, and you're bought in. When you're bought in, you think more outside the box, you're more creative, you're looking for solutions that you wouldn't have seen had you not been bought in. All right, let's wrap up this episode. So here's the takeaway. Find your competitive advantage. Figure out what it is in your market that you can have a competitive advantage in. Attach it to your holy cause. Recognize the different aspects that you can exploit, that you can just find the hole in the gap and just jump right in it, and then go. Stop sitting on your couch and waiting for things to be fed to you. If you can be the hunter, the one that's aggressive that goes into the marketplace, then it'll build this momentum that'll be so massive that at some point down the road, you'll be allowed to walk back or step back from your business. You'll buy back all your time and your business will run on autopilot. Take a second, look at your notes, drop in the comments your biggest takeaway. Thanks a ton for watching this one. I talked to a lot of realtors, and this is a very important topic that you comprehend and get behind as we head into the second half of the year. Excited to see you next week. We're going to go over the 10 different topics that I've seen from the first half of the year that the top producers all exemplify. They're all doing in their business. Make sure you catch that one so you can see what you can improve, and we'll catch you next time.